Welcome to the Lytham St Anne's Civic Society's video walk. Come and join us on a journey through a remarkable strip of woodland in the intriguingly named Witchwood. We start at the Blackpool Road entrance near Skew Bridge, where a stone inscription set into the cobbled walls tells us that the wood was officially opened by the Duke of Edinburgh in 1974. Walking through the wood, you will be amazed by the variety of British trees in this relatively small area. Beech trees figure prominently in the wood, but time has taken a toll on some. Notice a short distance from the path the tall stump of a beech, and growing from the top a porcelain fungus, white, shiny and translucent. Deadwood is very important for healthy woodland to provide suitable habitats for fungi, invertebrates and plants, and a hunting ground for small animals and birds. A few hundred metres further on, we can see the effects of Dutch elm disease, which swept the country from the 1970s and killed millions of trees. These too are dying. The larvae of the elm bark beetles live, as their name suggests, under the bark and carry a deadly fungus from tree to tree. When detected by the elm, it shuts down its water and food supply vessels, and so it dies. Keep a sharp eye over the next few hundred metres for a gravestone. The witch's gravestone. Who is she and why is she buried here? Well, it is thought that she died in a riding accident and was the favourite horse of the squire at the time. Divert onto a path up to Middle Bridge overlooking the railway line facing east in the direction of Lytham. The shrubby undergrowth protected by the embankments provides a habitat for woodcock. These beautiful chunky birds with short legs and a long straight bill feed and spend the winter here. Looking the other way, west, are shallow pools by the side of the track. Towards the end of March, listen out for the distinctive croaking of mating frogs. Now, cast your eyes upwards on the bridge to a yew tree. Yews are the longest living British tree. The oldest is thought to be more than 5,000 years old. Nothing grows underneath because the leaves are toxic. The black seed in the middle of the berry is also poisonous too. Allegedly, you can make jam from the red berries, although I don't fancy it. Interestingly, if you carry on walking, you'll come to Church Drive, which was the former carriage drive to Lytham Hall from the church. Continuing down the middle path, you will come to a small stand of beech trees. Surprisingly, for such a tall tree, beech grow a network of large surface roots that anchor the tree to the ground. In severe winter storms, this means that they can be susceptible to being toppled, and in times of drought, the tree cannot reach down to water deep below the surface. Beech trees deal with water shortages by suddenly dropping large boughs, leaving massive scars on the trunks. Dotted throughout the wood are some very splendid oak trees. Tall, straight-bowed with extraordinarily dense timber. The Royal George, a 100-gun battleship which launched in 1756, would have required about 2,000 oak trees for its construction. Such battleships were constructed in their thousands over hundreds of years. In Elizabethan times, something like 70% of Britain was covered in broadleaf oak woodland, but by the time of the Napoleonic War, this had been drastically reduced. Further along you will see hazel, both here and elsewhere in the wood. It was cultivated and coppiced and extensively used for charcoal making, which powered iron production and propelled the Industrial Revolution. The final iconic tree of our walk is a short stroll away, the mountain ash, also called the rowan. It sports creamy spring flowers, 8 pairs of serrated leaflets and clusters of scarlet berries. A fabulous food source for birds which then disperse the rowan seeds. Interestingly, the old folk name for the rowan is witchwood. As we have observed, our witchwood is a hidden gem, but what goes on out of sight is even more fascinating. Research has shown that beneath every forest and wood there is a complex underground web of roots, fungi and bacteria, helping to connect trees and plants to one another. This subterranean social network, nearly 500 million years old, has become known as the Wood Wide Web. The leafy parts of the woodland above the ground form superhighways for animals and birds and insects, and helps them meet and communicate and prosper. We need to join these highways up by planting trees and hedges and wildlife-friendly gardens. If you look around Lytham St Anne's, we are able to see how lucky we are in having such large amounts of green space. But how much better could we make this if we simply joined it all up? Wychwood offers an opportunity for people to become involved in a citizen's science project, and we can then better protect it and help it to prosper. I hope that in this brief commentary we can see that there's so much in a simple woodland walk that goes unseen. Let's be more curious.